2025 Founders Cup live from the 7 Chiefs Sportsplex of the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation. As your host, the Calgary Shamrocks organization is excited to welcome the best junior lacrosse players from across the country to Calgary. This evening's game features the Coquitlam Adanacs and St. John Rapids. And now we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
In the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the peoples of the Treaty 7, including the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising in the Siksika, Beacony, and Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chickasaw, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. This land has long been a gathering place for many Indigenous peoples. We recognize and honor all nations, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who live, work, and play here and who continue to care for and enrich this territory. It's day one of the 2025 Founders Cup, and it's game number 3. Live from the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth, celebrating over 100 years of serving Alberta drivers. Wolf Calgary Chevrolet GMC Buick at 768 101 Street Southwest, right off the Stoney Trail. Same ownership, new dealerships, and home of the Oil Change for Life program. And with that, we are underway. What a day number 1 it's been. It's Tino Farah here, your voice for this matchup between the Coquitlam Adanacs and the St. John Rapids. Live here on BC Sports TV for free, I might add, and it will be the British Columbia representatives with the first offensive set of the game. Near side feed is automatic, can't get down low, good defending by the Rapids. Drive from the far side, and it goes just wide of the goal of starting netminder Noah Fletcher. 7 assists through his 7 playoff games in net for St. John. Unbelievable. We'll get over to the Adanac starter in just a moment because it is those Adanacs with possession. It was a short-lived reset, however, on an interference call. Ben Tebow will get the start. He was their man through their playoff run, which saw the Adanacs take down the likes of the Nanaimo Timbermen, the New Westminster Salmon Bellies, and finally taking down the Victoria Shamrocks, their rivals for essentially the last 3 years in a row. It was 3 straight years of a BC final between Coquitlam and Victoria. Finally, it's the Adanacs who get the job done. And then, of course, they did the rest to take home a provincial championship and book their ticket to the Founders against the Kodiaks. Another reset off the Matty Dane shot. He'll get the feed once again. Through the middle is on the money, and there's another save into the chest protector of Fletcher. He'll deflect that over to his far side and collect. Long pass that's out of the reach of the defender. It's going to be another turnover, and Coquitlam's going to take it back. They haven't had to play a lick of defense yet in the almost opening 2 minutes. Swing pass over to the righties, now into the corner. Halfway through this shot clock, here's Lincoln Twomley. He'll shoot into the stick. St. John goaltender is already up to 4 saves by my count. This time the Rapids will be able to clear center But the captain right there to meet him, it's Ben Mekalargi. Forces his man deep into the corner, continuing to pin him there. Feet moving. A good job by Chase Aldridge. Gets space near side, heavy. Wind up, scores! One shot, one goal for the Rapids. And they strike first against the Adanacs. That looked like it was going to be a dead possession. You can see the shot clock at the top of your screen, 7 seconds. Aldridge able to find a gap on his defender. Maybe it was a bit of a defensive breakdown. Lack of a switch, but a good screen set. Couldn't quite see who technically the crease man there was for the Rapids, but able to draw up both defenders and turn it into a clean-looking shot. Far side on Thibault, who still awaits his first save of the Founders Cup. But Chase Aldridge puts his team up 1-0. Rapids looking for back-to-back. Now it's a free and clear breakaway as Robinson goes in alone and denied. No, it's in. Looked like Fletcher caught a piece, but it wasn't enough. And with the goal announcement underway, before that, really, the Adanacs able to get back onto the board and draw things back to even. We'll see on the behind-the-net cam if Fletcher was able to get enough. But look at this sight line here, from center more or less. And yeah, he does get enough of it with his shoulder, but not quite enough, I guess. It just trickles over, and Charlie Robinson played all 8 playoff games for the A's. Of course, he would get into the starting lineup for game 1 of the Founders, and he puts his team up, or rather draws them even at 1 aside. Matty Dane gets over top, his hands are free, dishes instead, and there's a nice glove stop by Fletcher. He'll deflect over to a defender on the top of his crease. Stopping up is Ryan Johnston. I was told that when he gets up and goes, he is one of the fastest players on the floor. Spin move far side. There's the first save of the game for Ben Thibault, and he takes it between the eyes. Reset now for St. John. Here's the goal scorer, Fletcher. Far side feeds, ends up high. Defended well. It's Archibald will not allow his man through on an easy lane. Now near side, and that made its way through the defender. Mekalargi got enough of it to slow it down, but Thibault gets the rest of it. He'll hang on, and an errant breakout pass. Luckily for Coquitlam, though, not really much of a press for St. John. There's a swim move and a drive by Twomley. One of the late additions for this Adanacs team, coming over just in time for the Founders. Swing pass, far side, 3 to shoot, whistles wide, and Twomley couldn't pull the trigger, just slid out of his stick before he could load it up. Remains 1-1, 4.5 minutes into our final game of day number 1 of the 2025 Founders Cup. Not a bad start for the Rapids, who, by my understanding, are still missing a couple of players waiting to get in on their travel day. Playing this game a little bit short-handed, but not a bad start here against the BC champs. Loose ball falls towards their bench. Not really wanting to collect it cleanly, so Charlie Quinn will just bat it over the center line. Remember, Lacrosse Canada rules here at the Founders Cup, which means no 8-second count, at least while you're even strength, and no back over either. Dane gets it down low. Shot clock is halfway through. Alex Tan will take a lap behind the goal on his wrong side. Tried to connect with his man up top. Gets his own rebound. Now deep into the corner, Matty Dane will start to vacate. Get a defender on. There's a drive and a goal! What an individual effort far side, and the Adanacs take their first lead. I believe it was Darian Murray. Just before the clock expires, able to fire that before touching down through the crease. That's another one of the Lacrosse Canada rules. Remember, crease dives technically not allowed. It's that invisible cylinder. Oh, and the Rapids may have a case there, but the official, the other side of the crease, calls it a goal, and Coquitlam goes up 2-1. off the in-tight finish from Darian Murray. 11 goals through the playoffs for Murray. 6 assists to his name as well. Heavy hit of the far side. Luke Banks, brother of Junior A Adanacs captain Ty Banks, who's currently competing for a Minto Cup. The purple and gold runs deep through the Banks family. There's a one-timer that's denied, a kick save by Tebow. I believe that's just the third shot he's seen so far, and he may have to see another one on a Rapids reset. Top side, again defended well. There's a heavy screen set and a late shot will go uncalled, just Adanacs possession. It was Aiden Carr trying to fire that home before the screen was set. Now Lincoln Twomley sizes up on his defender. He'll get over top, hands free, just wide of the goal. But Fletcher was there waiting for the emphatic kick save. Ball goes to the other end of the floor, however. Twomley is back for a defensive shift, as is Murray. Now forward, there's just 3 seconds to work with. Dane from distance, it's on the mark and almost trickles over. Fletcher made the save, and then as he turned his body, it just deflected the ball closer and closer to the goal line, if not for his best friend that he stands in between right now. Chase Budnick with a little bit of pressure at the perimeter. Rapids, though, having a hard time picking up the ball. There's a man forward, and the pass is on the money. Hayden, and denied by the right pad. Coquitlam has been all over those loose balls here to start off this game. Alex Tan has come onto the floor, as has Matty Dane as the trailer. Fake shot, Henrik Lucas gets it over to the lefties. Afonso tries to set a screen, he's knocked down, gets up just in time, flip passes, down low, he's falling, still shoots, and Fletcher gets enough, no goal as it did trickle over, but there was an Adanac touchdown in the crease, that close to a 3-1 game, but the deficit remains just one. Remember, it was 1-0 on the opening shot of the game for the Rapids. It was that man right there, number 7, Aldridge, who's parked near side of the crease. Shot instead goes off the right shoulder of Tebow. Rebounded well since allowing the first shot he had seen. Miles Archibald, quick flip. Twomley takes a peek back towards the A's bench. Waits to see what kind of cavalry will be joining him. He'll split, shoot wide. High off the glass, it's collected by Murray. He put his team up by 1 earlier in this period. Pass across, a bouncer that missed. Twomley tried to fire at the last second again. That also goes wide. 12:04 remaining in the opening frame of our final game of day number 1. Rapids will clear center. It has been a high-flying day number 1, might I add. Queen City and Calgary. That game went down to the final minute. Calgary trying to mount a comeback after their early lead. There's a far side shot wide of the goal. Lobbed over top. Rapids still have it and plenty of time to work with as well. Carr loading up, decides for a pass. That one from downtown didn't get through, and that hit Ben Mekkelargy up high. Hit him towards the neck area, and he's going to go down and take a knee. He's grabbing at his left ear, it looks like, and that's going to give us a whistle. That was a heavy release, and you could see him trying to stay in the play, but eventually decides to go down to a knee. He's a little bit shaken up, and the trainer will come out to share a couple of words with the Adanacs captain. Gets up under his own power. That's always the first welcomed sight. And we'll see how much time he will miss. Looks like he is going to head off the bench with the trainer. And yeah, those ears certainly ringing after a shot block like that one, but it will be Rapids possession. And I believe they're going to give him a full 30 here. Unlucky break for Coquitlam. I don't think they had collected possession yet, so the Rapids will try to take advantage. An early shot in the shot clock. Tebow makes another stop. It's stuck in his pad. Banks up to Archbold. Stops up at center. First man to greet him is Dane. Matty Dane, one of 2 Dane brothers on this Adanacs squad, but Matty the only one in the lineup. Brother Adam Dane watching from the sidelines for the time being. Murray gets onto his wrong side. More or less does a full lap, now parked behind. Back to Dane, plenty of room, and a great save by Fletcher. A little bit of daylight in that 7-hole, but closes the gap just in time. Keeps his team in the fight here, trailing still by just 1. Quick peek towards the center line. Late change by the time they get settled. There's just about 11 seconds on the shot clock. Drive runs into a double team and muscled down. Charlie Robinson mixing it up in front of his crease, and Lalonde will clear the center line. A somersault in front of the Adanacs bench. It was Chase Aldridge, the goal scorer. Parkour. Twombly swings across. Playman is Murray. There's a drive underneath, though, and another save made by Fletcher. Twombly gets the rebound. Fresh 30 for Coquitlam. Twombly wants the return feed. Not going to get it. Over top instead to Murray. Afonso skips to Twombly. Murray wanted it this time. He'll get it far side. A shot from distance. Took a deflection in front. Trying to bat it towards the goal, but unable to make clean contact. Now behind. Still Adanacs possession. 2 of their forwards have vacated, though, and the pass in front is deflected and knocked down. Over halfway through the opening period, it's still 2-1 Adanacs. Quick drop from Mason. They're going to try the hidden ball trick. Not going to fool these defenders on this chance, though. Aiden Carr. Down low to the near side. Aldridge has space, tries to return it through to the middle, and the pass far side was a little too low. Bouncer wide of the goal. Gonna get a quick breather here for the 2 goaltenders to get some water, and that gives us an opportunity to pay a bill. Remember, free broadcast here all week long at the Founders Cup, thanks to BC Sports TV. And thanks as well to our sponsors who help make that possible. Winter or summer, your comfort starts with Coba HVAC. With installs, maintenance, and repairs, Coba keeps Calgarians cozy, cool, and comfortable all year long. Trust the experts in commercial heating, ventilation, and cooling. Coba HVAC. We bang harder. Reminder, it'll be myself, Tino Farah, Cody Jansen on the call all week long. And of course, you know it wouldn't be a BC Sports TV broadcast without cameraman extraordinaire George Para. One of the rare occurrences, however, where George is not directly to my left. George, hopefully you're listening. Can't really see you over there, but I got a yep. I heard a yep. I'm getting flashbacks, George, to a couple of weeks ago at the McDonald Cup in Abbotsford, British Columbia, where anytime I would say your name, the Prince Albert Predators fans would stand up and start cheering your name. What a time, Georgie. Adanacs possession. Scores! Murray gets his second. Well, that didn't take long. And look at Matty Dane at the near side. He's the one who made the pass. Sees Murray with just enough space between he and the low defender and able to bounce that past Fletcher. It's 3-1 Coquitlam. A long ways away from home are the Adanacs and St. John, but the Adanacs feeling pretty good about their start to this game after it was a little bit shaky early on. But a quick response. It was that breakaway goal from Charlie Robinson, which really rebounded them in the right direction and led to a couple of strikes now from Darian Murray. Puts his team up 3-1. 8:45 left, and look out, here's another breakaway for Coquitlam. It's DeWitt in a lone, denied! A left pad save by Fletcher. That'll ricochet to the far side. How's that for a timely save? Noah Fletcher. Pardon me if I've mentioned this already, but just looking over my stat sheet again, 7 assists for Fletcher through the playoffs, where the Rapids faced off against the Halifax Hurricanes as well as the Sackville Sport Wheels Wolves. I am confident in putting them into the all-name team. They are the captains in that category for me. Adanacs looking for more. Murray looking for his hat trick. Can't beat Fletcher this time, but he'll have to settle for a reset. Parking himself in the middle, dangerously close to where he scored that goal from just a couple of moments ago. Possession is bobbled, but it's handled well from behind the goal. Scores! Again, the Adanacs strike quickly. Taking a little bit of contact at that far side crease was Malcolm Richardson. He does the dirty work, though, in the corner. Finds some space in front and buries past Fletcher. A little bit slow to get up, not just because of our slow motion replay. Actually looked like he was a little bit gingerly going back to his feet. That was a heavy hit on the slide from the far defender, able to close the gap, but it did not matter on the scoreboard, because the Adanacs get another one in quick succession, now up 4-1, 7.5 remaining in the first. Dane, the rookie. Undersized but shifty as ever, and what a shot he has. Twomley, screen is set by Dane. Certainly didn't look undersized there. He'll score! Looks like there's a penalty on the play as well. Matty Dane playing bigger than ever as he gets back to his feet, and there's a penalty after the goal scored. So the Adanacs get another one, and they're going to go to work on the power play.
Fourth goal scored. His first of the tournament by number 14, Henry Lucas. That goal is unassisted. Time of the goal, 7:41 first period.
Yeah, it was the shot after with Dane going down. There's the screen set, gives himself enough separation. Goes across, and yeah, there's the cross check to the back of the head of Matty Dane. Gets his first goal in his first ever Founders Cup. Not a bad start for him. I remember calling some Junior A games for the Adanacs a couple of years ago and seeing him as a call-up. And even back then, he stood out. He's usually a shoo-in on this power play. Of course, getting a little bit of breathing time after that contact, replaced by Alex Tan down low.
Ryan Johnston, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 7:08 in the first period. That's Johnston, 2 minutes.
5-1. The Adanacs lead. 6:45 remaining. Deflected pass, it ends up off the glass. Miles Archibald takes a peek forward, sees Lincoln Twomley waiting. Not a bad idea to feed him the ball. Power forward that played some significant minutes for the New Westminster Salmon Bellies this season. There's Matty Dane back onto the floor. He'll run point. Playing pass far side, now drags his defender over. Twomley sets the screen far side, and the shot from the same spot missed. Now just 5 on the shot clock. Dane skips one underneath, shot. Tan looking between the legs of Fletcher. Able to fall backwards and keep it on the right side of the goal line. It remains 5-1. .50 seconds remaining in the penalty. Ryan Johnston watching on anxiously from the Rapids penalty box as his team maintains possession. Runs into a double team. Charlie Quinn comes over. Gets a couple of hacks and whacks on the falling forward for the Rapids. Now Twomley, just 15 seconds left on their power play. We'll see how the Adanacs want to play this if they want an early shot. There's 14 seconds on the shot clock as well. Separated, the penalty clock and shot clock by about 3. Shot from Murray, that didn't get through. Got to get something towards the goal here quickly. The penalized player is out of the box. There was a late shot, but made its way on goal after the clock had expired. So 0 for 1 in the power play are the Adanacs. Still got to be feeling pretty good about their start to this game. Aldridge with the lone Rapids goal. He'll go airborne and can't avoid the crease. Plenty of hang time there for Chase Aldridge. 15 goals for him through the 7 playoff games that he got into. Lucas with a goal already. Puts that short side wide. It'll ricochet back over the center line. Enough room for the Rapids to collect. Not a ton of pressure just yet. They're able to facilitate a wholesale change. Carr feeds it down low. The ball is mishandled. Kept alive, a spinning backhander. Well wide. Now Mekulargi is back into the play. He's got a breakaway and denied by the glove of Fletcher. How about that for a return to action? Ben Mekulargi missed some time after blocking a shot with his head. Gets back in and goes the length of the floor, that close to making this a 6-1 game with 4 minutes remaining. Up top, Murray shoots and scores. Give him a first period hat trick. Murray seems to be sailing through these Rapids with a good amount of ease here. Finds some space around his defender and fires stick side past Fletcher. What a start to the Founders Cup for Murray. Maybe could have been an interference call, but the official says play on, and that's why they say play to the whistle. Now 6-1 with under 4 to play. Coquitlam continuing to pour it on here, trying to hunt for a national championship. Near side feed is a good one. Now they'll try to the righties. Carr tries to receive it with one hand. He'll pick his feet up in the corner, look back to the perimeter. 10 to shoot, they will, and it'll go in and out of the stick of Ben Tebow, who makes his first stop in a little while, and here's another fast break opportunity. Robinson loads, fires, and it got through Fletcher, but out the other side. There have been a few shots that the Adanacs have fired towards the Rapids netminder where he's gotten a piece, and it's either gotten through him or just enough to deflect it wide of the goal. That was one of the latter. Rapids elect to slow things down. Another late change. So they're working about half of their shot clock by the time they get set on a few of these offensive opportunities. There's a drive and a bouncer. There's a good save by Tebow. Takes it off the turf out of the stick of Aldridge. Denied his second. Chase Budnick takes a peek, looks over the center line, takes advantage of that lack of back over call that the Adanacs have been used to all through their regular season and playoffs. Alex Tan has room. He'll fire. 5-hole gets through. Alex Tan makes it 7-1 late in the first. Hung on to the ball that entire possession. There was just a little bit of hesitation from the Rapids defender down low, and that was enough for Tan to make his decision to absolutely let it rip, and it goes underneath of the stick of Fletcher. Actually looked like just to the left, but still 5-hole.
Adanac, his first of the night, scored by number 21, Alex Tan, assisted by number 13, Chase Budnick. Time of the goal, 2:05 in the first period. That's Tan from Budnick at 2:05.
Rapids have done a good job at the faceoff dot to start off this game. This is another possession earned by a win in that category. Clock goes down under 2. There's a fake flip. Nice move, nice shot. It went off the butt end of the stick of Ben Tebow. What's that they say? Lucky to be good, good to be lucky. Something like that. Well, Ben Tebow will be credited with a save. Thanks to the shaft of his goaltender's stick. Now Lucas spinning, looking for his second. And speaking of stick saves, this is a more traditional one at that. Fletcher looks forward. Here's Aiden Carr. Quick bouncer. Connects with Aldridge. Screen, he'll go low. Defended well, though. Budnick keeps him at the corner. Adanacs scored on a similar looking play, but it's the Rapids trying to return the favor. Aldridge with a toe drag, and that one almost went under the glove of Tebow. Now a rare reset on the offensive side of the ball for the Rapids. A twister release that bounces wide and out of play. So we now enter the final minute of the first period. Adanacs with a commanding 7-1 lead. They're going to keep the goaltender in while going early at the other end. Fletcher makes the save. There's 32.2 seconds on the clock. See how the Rapids want to play this. No message towards their goaltender, who will just stay in between the pipes while his team takes possession back over the center line. Shot clock can more or less be turned off here. Maybe a second separating that and the game clock. Goes down to 12. Carr looks underneath, there's room to drive, but a good slide over, and Quinn knocks his man down. Goes towards Tebow, who took a peek towards the offensive zone just in case Fletcher had left his goal, which he had not. What a start for the Adanacs. They allowed the first goal of the game, and after that, they did not look back, tying it up immediately afterwards and then going on a run for the ages to kick things off in their first game of the Founders Cup. 7-1, they lead through 20 minutes. You're watching on BC Sports TV. We'll be back after this.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and then they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact-resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom-ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY-friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip-resistant, and weather-ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect Surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Welcome back to the Founders Cup. Welcome back to BC Sports TV. It's myself, Tino Farah, cameraman extraordinaire, George Parra, somewhere hidden to my left. Hope you're doing all right over there, Georgie. And it's 7-1 through 20 minutes in favor of those Coquitlam Adanacs that you're looking at right now. Ben Tebow wasn't overly busy in the first. Saw some action right away, a shot which found its way through him, but found a good way to rebound after that pretty well, as did the rest of his team. Breakaways aplenty, loose balls even more, it felt like. And that helped them carve the path towards a 7-1 lead through the opening 20 minutes. Chase Aldridge, the lone goal scorer for St. John, I was told ahead of time the folks of St. John wouldn't be too happy if I called them St. John's plural. That's a -1, I'll take that. St. John Rapids looking for a rebound effort here in the second period. Charlie Quinn is going to be tasked with taking the face-off. He'll go head-to-head with Noah Fournette. Again, the Rapids were good at the face-off dot, and Fournette tried to kick it to the near wing, but there was nobody there aside from the man wearing number 4 for the Adanacs, Keenan DeWitt. Marcus Afonso will take the first offensive possession. Twomley drives down. He'll leap over top, but can't get it through. And on the rebound, they score. Alex Tan gets his second. And how's that for a start? What was that, 28 seconds into the second period? They continue this run. Make it the last 7 straight goals. Here's the original drive from Twomley. Tries to go over top. It was a great save. But Alex Tan keeps after it. Noah Fletcher was right there, just couldn't quite get enough of it. Alex Tan able to use that extra bit of reach with a jumping Noah Fletcher. Swinging that glove hand up, and the Adanacs win the ensuing draw. They'll go right back to work. Malcolm Richardson will leap his way, topside dish over to the far. Nice jab step by Tan. He'll put it back to Afonso, who has his shot punched over to the far side. No, they're going to say it went wide of the goal. Centering pass is deflected, taken away by the Rapids. St. John will re-enter. Joe Webster gets it across the floor. There's a drive from Aldridge. Can't outmuscle his man. The pass across was just off the mark. And eventually collected. Miles Archibald. McElargy puts it forward. A great one-handed interception. And the Rapids take it back forward. 3-on-4, however, so they'll slow up and wait for the offense to get back onto the floor. But Ben Alcorn shows off his hands on the defensive side of things. Drive by Aldridge. He'll take it behind the goal. Pass in front. In and out of the stick of the intended recipient. Now Chase Budnick knocks it forward. He goes on to the run himself. It's a 2-on-1, turns into a break himself. He looks over to Charlie Robinson. Check that, it was Charlie Quinn. Couldn't handle that quite as cleanly as what he would have liked, and the Rapids will get a do-over of their last possession. An elbow thrown towards Robinson, and that's going to be called. Couldn't quite see the number of the culprit, but I think he's going to chalk that up to accidentally on purpose, but with the official standing right there, that's going to get called every time. Since 1999, Northern Mat and Bridge has led Canadian Access with the country's largest fleet of mats and portable bridges. From Muskeg Mountains, NMB builds safe, temporary roads that protect crews. Schedules in the ground beneath. Thank you to Wolf. Or check that, Northern Mat and Bridge. Shot scores. That didn't take long either. what was it, 28 seconds into the period? Well, that was 14 seconds into the penalty. Welcome to the Founders Cup. Lincoln Twomley stings that top corner. A heavy release from distance. Oh, just too much space to be able to shoot. I understand not wanting to screen your goaltender, but have to get into the lane at some point here, or in some way at least. It'll be 9-1 for the purple and gold. Not a lot of purple on the jerseys of the Junior Bees. Plenty of gold, however, I'll say. DeWitt slowly into the offensive zone. Connects at the far side with Henrik Lucas. Had a goal and plenty of chances in the opening frame. Now he's tied up, wrestling with his man off ball. Dane skips over to Afonso. Far side and return back to Dane. He has room to shoot. He will. And that went off the bar. Close call. The official right there waves it off. Now fast break chance for the Rapids. Denied by the right pad of Tebow. He'll make his first save of the second. Keeps his team in front. One-timer by a leaping Twomley. Somehow able to avoid the crease. That would have been a beauty. Seen a couple of highlight reel tallies so far on day number 1. Again, if you're seeing any of the highlights on social media, they're coming from the editing hands and the camera work of the legendary Garrett Eddy, who's gotten very familiar with shooting on this Calgary Roughnecks floor. Twomley, after making this a 9-1 game, he'll look up the wall, feed Dane, who returns it back to Twomley. Now Richardson, hands free, hoping for a target, finds one in the middle, a backhander. Shot blocked, and that stung. 7 to shoot. Richardson with a ton of contact on his drive, and that brings a crowd in front of the crease of Fletcher. We'll take a look at this one. What's the contact taken? Yeah, I mean, there was some from the defender that forces the path of Richardson into the goaltender. And is St. John going to get a penalty out of this as well? Yes. Wolf Automotive Group, formerly GSL Chev City, is a proud sponsor of the 2025 Founders Cup. Visit our brand new dealerships right off Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. So interference to Richardson. And it looks like cross-checking. And Tyler Weldon is going to be the culprit. It will be Adanacs possession. And we're going to see some four-a-side lacrosse. Look at the space we have here on the floor. Watch for a guy like Matty Dane to take advantage of that. I mean, we've already seen Murray fire from distance. He has possession to kick things off. He's another guy that is shifty on the offensive side of the ball. Olsen skips over to the aforementioned Dane. Does he like this matchup? Takes a peek, sees in the corner Twomley. He'll cycle, fake shot, draws the ire of two defenders. Back to Dane up high. Shot clock winds down to 6. Speaking of 6, Olsen can't go 5-hole. Is Fletcher able to shut the door? Close call there. Another one where he gets a piece. It had a thought to trickle over, but he had the thought to spin himself away. Ends up being the right call. Somehow we're only 5 minutes into this middle frame. Adanacs still with that sizable lead. Aldridge, heel drive, one hand on his stick, draws a slide of Mekalargi, and the shot was wide. It'll rebound in front of the St. John bench, and look out now, we got some rough stuff as Aldridge doesn't like the contact that he had seen with his defender. And is Aldridge going to be the only? No, they're going to take both of them. Aldridge continues to voice his frustration. And I believe that's Jack Hall. Yes, it is for the Adanacs. I know that'll make one Freddie Jenner pleased to see a Victoria call-up here for the Adanacs. Stand up for himself on the defensive end. Freddie sent me a message earlier today to let me know that Jack Hall, one of those Victoria dogs, find their way onto this Adanacs roster. Again, St. John are still missing a couple of guys. Coming in today, from what I understand, there's a heavy hit into the corner. The hands of Twomley, who throws another one. Close that gate, guys. A close call, a legal substitution, but that offensive gate for the Rapids was wide open. And the ball rolling right in front. Dangerously close to some contact there. Here's Chase Budnick. Murray comes in quickly. Far side feed. Twomley feels like he's played every minute of this game. There's a nice glove save by Fletcher. Had to be sharp as he went down a little early. One-handed deflection on a back-checking effort, though, by Murray. Takes away a good feed. Again, if you missed it, 7 assists through the playoffs for Noah Fletcher. Almost found his first of the Founders Cup right there. Great effort, however, by Murray to take that opportunity away. And looks like he's going to stay out for a defensive shift. Richardson is out of the penalty box, and he's all the way up the floor. The pass is low, but he has plenty of room to make up his mind, and he puts it off the post. Almost into the double digits for Coquitlam. Wrong iron, however. Tebow takes that one into his midsection. Thought about coming out of his crease to create some space. Doesn't need to, though. Banks off the man to the bench, and Fletcher makes the save there. It's underneath of him. Alex Tan would be denied his hat-trick goal by Noah Fletcher. It remains 9-1. Still 4-on-4. Flip pass to the outside. Carr stings the corner. First Rapids goal in quite some time. It was number 7 on the first one. Now it's double 7s. The flip pass there that finds the stick of Carr. And then a seeing eye shot with Tebow going down. I believe it was Aldridge actually who made the pass, and just underneath the bar inside the post. That was a beauty. Fired heavy by Aiden Carr. It's now 9-2. The Adanacs still lead, but the first goal since the opening minute for St. John. Assisted by number 11, Joe Webster, number 88, Riley Bissett, time of that goal. Lucas swings to Olsen. Steps over top. Dane was wide open in the middle, but couldn't quite handle the pass. Skip to the near side, and next player to collect possession had just ran through the crease. Now another defensive stick. Miles Archibald this time. He can play some offense, but going out the D gate for Coquitlam. They'll hope that turns into some transition opportunities, or at the very least, their depth to show itself through the Founders Cup. That is one of the strengths of this Adanacs organization at both the Junior A and Junior B level, going down to their minor programs, as well as their depth. And we've seen that with some of these Junior B players jumping up into their Junior A lineups throughout the year. So there's a heavy screen set by Murray, again uncalled. Matty Dane fires it towards the goal, caught a deflection and goes out. 11:26 left in the middle stanza. Here's Dane to Lucas. There's a man behind the behind the net, getting a rough ride. It's Tan as Fletcher makes another stop. He'll deflect that with his chest. Back to the outside. Tan surveys the entire floor, finds his buddy Dane down low. Shot, another one that was blocked. Finds its way in the stick of Malcolm Richardson. Nice move, he'll drive, shoots, scores! Well, there's another candidate for the highlight reel, Malcolm Richardson. Here's the spin move. The first dodge back underneath to drive low. He sees no help, and the far side defender facing the wrong way. Couldn't even help if he wanted to. That heavy step towards the middle of the floor just opens up Fletcher down on one knee and into that top corner as Malcolm Richardson goes back under the bar to the near side. Adanacs respond after giving up a goal a couple of moments ago. Here's DeWitt. Next man in to collect is Callum Olsen. Skipping his way towards the middle of the floor. Takes some contact, feeds Twomley with a heavy release. Lucas hunting for the rebound. Olsen is there as well. Plays a little bit of road hockey to try to bat it towards Afonso, who is open. But couldn't quite collect it thanks to the efforts of Chase Aldridge swimming his way through. Draws an interference call as well. Fresh 30 for the Rapids. They scored on their last possession. Can they make it back to back? Can't get topside on Banks. They'll try underneath. Lucas out for a D shift. One-time shot wide, and Aldridge couldn't quite corral the loose ball on the rebound. St. John content with trying to send it in deep, but it's picked off. Archbold looks towards his offensive gate. Finds Dane, and he'll be replaced by Twomley. Tan, sidearm feed to Richardson. He'll skip back across. Dane returns it. Richardson goes airborne. Denied by Fletcher. There's a nice save. He's been pretty good at making the rebounding save after allowing a goal. But these Adanacs pour it on. Possession after possession after possession. Now Murray out for a D shift. He can hold his own. The shot, though, goes wide of Tebow's net. Near side, low one. Can't beat the stick this time of Tebow. Fired, and a heavy one at that by Drew Mason. 38 points for him in 7 playoff games. 26 of those were helpers. Dane goes well outside. Now stumbling down to the turf is Olsen. Able to run a little interference at the very least to make the break not a clean one. Rapids keep after it, though. Maybe numbers if they hurry. Near side shot and saved by Tebow. So he goes down to his backside and keeps it in his crease. Goaltender's going to get a quick breather here, a water break for everybody. Aside from those of us on the broadcast crew, because again, we got some bills to pay here at BC Sports TV. Freehold Royalties, a uniquely positioned leading North American energy royalty company. Thank you to Freehold Royalties, and thank you to all of our sponsors helping to bring the Founders Cup broadcast here on BC Sports TV, free of charge all week long. Load up the old interwebs. YouTube is going to be your website of choice. BC Sports TV, you know where to find us. Send us a message as well on the old Instagram. Let us know where you're watching from. If the boss man who is in charge of the Instagram isn't good at replying all that well. You can always send me a message as well at Tino Farah on Instagram or at Ferratino on Twitter. Those are the two best places to get me at. But yeah, let us know where you're watching from. All week long, we're going to be parked up here. Let's make this an interactive experience for all of us, shall we? Already got a couple of messages, throughout the game. Again, I already mentioned Freddie Jenner. The Jenners, I'm sure, are watching. Got a message from Adanacs president, James Abbott. Let me know that Scott Wortley and the junior Adanacs, the junior A Adanacs, I should say, are watching from St. Kitts. Shout out to those guys, and congrats on another win at the Minto Cup through the round-robin stage. As we look back to the floor, it's going to be Adanacs' possession to kick things off. Ben Tebow wants to get things underway. Seen plenty of 4-on-4 action throughout this period specifically. We are back to 5-on-5. A little bit of pressure here from the Rapids on the opposing side of center, but the Adanacs break free of that. Finds Twomley down low. Tan has had a good start to this tournament. Skips across. Here's Richardson. Doesn't like what he sees. He'll circle back in the corner. Threatening to go towards the goal. Decides to pass instead. Now a bouncer, and did that make its way on goal? Not in time, says the official down low. Under 8 minutes to play in the second. Chase Budnick quick on the jump, but the Rapids able to escape that pressure thanks to the efforts of Ben Alcorn, Aldridge gets it back to the outside. It's deflected, though, or bobbled, I should say. Far side feed again, and once again, it's mishandled. They'll pick it up off the turf, though, and able to get a shot off at the last second. Tebow stands tall. Loose ball in front. Budnick looks ahead. Pass was just out of the reach of Robinson. Charlie Robinson finds Darian Murray. Murray with 3 in their first game of the tournament. Afonso on the run off the post. Big rebound. It'll go back to Twomley. Afonso, plenty of room. He'll keep it at the outside. Henrik Lucas, one-hand feed. It finds its way over to Murray, who has some time and room to be able to take it off the bounce. Now he'll dive across, and that's an easy call for the officials. Long pass. Luckily, leaping through the air was Noah Frenette, able to keep possession in favor of the Rapids. Skip feed goes across, 13 to shoot. Tied up well. DeWitt doing a good job. Now Aldridge at the half wall, loading from distance, scores! Give Aldridge 2, give the Rapids 3. You could just see him wanting to shoot. The second he picked it up off the wall, his hands down low, ready to release. And another low one gets through Tebow. Yeah, it looks like just inside the post. There's just a little bit of daylight there past the left leg of Ben Tebow, and Chase Aldridge gets his second of the Founders Cup. And the Adanacs collect possession. Spinning away. Jack Hall finds some space. He turned on the Jets to get another offensive chance for Coquitlam. Dane, a late defensive change. This time there's a man open. It's Richardson, but Twomley gets the shot off and then takes a hit from behind as the ball goes underneath Fletcher. A close call in tight. The Adanacs almost answered back. Fletcher makes another save. He has been peppered with rubber through the bulk of this game. This period, which has just about 5.5 minutes left. There's a nice move through the middle. A good double team, though, and a good whack by Chase Budnick. Knocks the ball loose. Banks ties up his man. A bouncer unintentionally goes to the far side. 5 on the Shockhawk. A jumper from Aldridge over top of the goal. Here comes Lalonde on the run. There's a man off the bench. It's Dane looking for his second, and can't beat Fletcher again, who makes a glove stop, stick side. Coquitlam will take advantage of their defensive side of center. And my mistake, looks like Ethan Robotham is coming between the pipes for the Rapids. So Fletcher getting the rest of the game off here. Shout out Cody Jansen, giving my eyes a quick test. There's a lot of talk about the goaltending union. There's not a lot of talk about the broadcasters union. Murray over the restraining line. Dane denied by Robotham a moment ago. Will he be this time? The answer is yes. Into the chest protector of the Rapids netminder. Murray gets it once again. He'll look across the floor from way downtown. It was Tan, back to Dane. Near side, Afonso loads up. Another save for Robotham. Not a bad start for the backup netminder coming in. He's a youngster from my understanding as well. Might be a first year. Tan drives a twister, stopped by the glove of Robotham. Hit from behind, that's going to be an interference call. Possession back to Coquitlam. What is this, about 4 resets by my count for the Adanacs, and they get another one here. Murray is going to take a breather. Dishes to Robinson before heading off for a change. Actually, both Olsen and Murray head off rather gingerly, I might add. DeWitt is going to go out for an O shift. He makes a move, no help underneath, can't pull it short side. The ball almost ricochets outside of the crease. But a good stick, Ethan Robotham, able to reach out and get his exhausted defenders a bit of a breather. They had been out there for quite some time. I would say probably about 90 seconds or so of straight Adanacs offensive ball. Down to the corner near side, 10 to shoot. Back across. Aldridge on hat-trick watch. He'll go to the perimeter. Shot stopped by Tebow. Another heavy one from Mason. Approaching the final 2 minutes of second period action. We haven't seen any blowouts yet at the Founders Cup. This one currently is 7-goal advantage for the Adanacs. Murray back on the floor after a quick breather. He'll drive, he'll shoot. Robotham with another save. Big rebound in front. Tan couldn't negotiate with that loose ball. It'll fall down to the turf, collected. St. John will clear. There's another loose ball collected by Alcorn. I'm not sure if loose balls are a stat that's being tracked by the Founders Cup Stats Committee. I would have to guess probably not, but give Alcorn probably 6 by my count. There's a shot and a shoulder save. High into the air. Tebow lost sight of it for a moment. Low pass. Lalonde handles it well. Twomley, after a couple of shifts off, he takes his space. Near side, Afonso couldn't handle the pass. And there's a penalty on the play. Interference is going to be the call, and the Rapids are going to go down a man once again. Trican, Canada's largest well service company, delivering hydraulic fracturing, cementing, coil, tubing, and more across Western Canada's oil and gas industry. With unmatched expertise and a commitment to safety, efficiency, and the environment, Trican keeps energy flowing. It took about 14 seconds, if I remember correctly, on the last Adanacs power play. We'll see how much time they need this time before, at the very least, a high-quality chance. They're going to work it around the horn. Twomley loads. That took a deflection. Chalk it up as a block in front. Ball is loose. It's kicked ahead. Coquitlam still has it, and 5 seconds to work with. They got to go quickly. Olsen will, and another block, but it goes off a defender and out of play. Not sure if that was intended from Olsen, but it works out in his favor. And he's going to be a little tired, he decides. Heads off to be replaced to the near side by Malcolm Richardson. Henrik Lucas will be the late man on this power play. He's parked far side. Sets a screen, creates some space for Richardson, who puts it top shelf. 46 seconds this time on the man advantage for Coquitlam, finding some success here on the man advantage. Lulling their defenders to sleep a little bit with some perimeter passing. And the screen by Lucas ends up being a wise decision for Olsen to go off, because if Lucas had not come on the floor, this goal may not have happened. He's the one who creates that space for Richardson to step into. A better job, by the Rapids penalty killers to get a stick in the lane this time. But Malcolm Richardson finds just that little bit of extra room. Puts it top shelf past Ethan Robotham. 30 seconds left in the middle frame. Adanacs leading 11-3. There's a nice save by Robotham. Got that right shoulder up just in time. 20 seconds left. Pass just in front of the Rapids bench. And are they going to call timeout here? It looks like they will. See if Robotham, well, he'll make his way towards the bench right now. The question is whether or not he's going to stay there. Well, I got confirmation. Freddie Jenner, at the very least, is watching. A couple of more messages coming through. Muvai Triple Diamond sending a message, letting us know that both Banks and Lucas have older brothers playing at the Minto for Coquitlam. Well, look at that. Knew about Ty Banks, didn't know about the older brother. Well, see, now my question is, when you say Lucas, are we talking about Luke Banks, or are we talking about Henrik Lucas? Might need a little bit of confirmation there. Regardless, it's going to be St. John possession, and they're going to have 13.6 seconds to work with. The net is empty. It's a 6-on-5 possession here. And the ball will start up top, Joe Webster. Not a lot of urgency here, as he will wait for the clock to go down to about 8 seconds, which it does now, and they'll start their motion. A set play here for the Rapids. Aldridge through the middle, a riser missed. Not by much. It'll ricochet back towards the center line. And we're going to finish off the second period similar to how we finished off the first, with the Adanacs in front. The lead is a little different this time, but still taking a lead into the final frame, and that's a position that they would have loved to be in if you had asked them before this game started. Again, 11-3 they lead over the St. John Rapids. Thanks for joining us here on BC Sports TV. Myself and cameraman extraordinaire Georgie Parr are going to take a quick breather. When we return, we'll be just about to kick off the third and final period in this one. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect Surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect surfaces.
Well, with the mics turned back on, you know what that means. It means that we are just about ready to get back to the action here at day one of the 2025 Founders Cup. Our final game of day number one goes between the Adanacs and the St. John Rapids. And mystery solved here. Henrik Lucas of the Adanacs, of course, brother of Oscar Lucas of the Junior A Coquitlam Adanacs, formerly of the Burnaby Lakers. Part of a trade early in the Junior A season. So Ty Banks, brother of Luke Banks, and Henrik Lucas, brother of Oscar Lucas. There we go. The benefit of people sending messages. See, it goes a long way. 11-3, Coquitlam leads here with 20 minutes remaining in regulation. If you missed it through the second period, into the game comes Ethan Robotham in between the pipes for the Rapids. And getting a peek over at the Coquitlam goal. I believe Oliver Collette is going to come in for the remainder of this one. Do I see a number 1 on his arm? I believe so. Got the thumbs up from Cody Jansen. That usually means it's A-OK. There he is. Going through his warm-up routine. That's why they call him cameraman extraordinaire George Para. As long as he hears you, he's going to get what you're talking about on the camera. Miss you over there, George. Face-off violation against St. John. It's going to go possession Adanacs to kick things off. Lincoln Twomley will get the first touch.
For the Coquitlam Adanacs, number 1, Oliver
He'll look far side. Matty Dane playing the role of a lefty for a moment, but now comes back to the near side to create some space. Twomley takes that space, but a good defensive slide. St. John will not allow Twomley to shoot. DeWitt back out for another O shift. Here's Dane. Returns it to DeWitt. Murray finds top side, can't get his hands free. There's a low release from Dane. Gets a whack, a couple of them actually, on the St. John defender. Can't find the loose ball, however. It does find the stick of Morgan McKinnon. Initiates their transition. The pass rolled ahead of Alcorn, but he has to deal with that of Banks. It'll be interference against Luke Banks, who goes back for another defensive shift, and the Rapids will get the full 30. Sidestepping into the offensive zone. Here comes Riley Bissett. Bissett free, feeds over to the righties. There's a double team. Screen is set. Back to the perimeter goes the Rapids. A shot from distance goes well wide, high into the air. Budnick is going to go for the loose ball. It's batted back towards Oliver Collette, who gets his first touch of this game. Make that of the Founders Cup. So he watches on. Not going to be credited with a save just yet, but will hopefully be credited with a loose ball collection. 15 to shoot, 10 with 2 in the game. Dishes across, gets the return pass, a low to high release. That sails wide. St. John able to collect. There's Henrik Lucas on a forechecking effort. Pass down low. Olsen finds it. It's down at the feet for a moment of Aiden Carr. Olsen digs it free. Now Miles Archbold. Over to Henrik Lucas. Quick peek at the half wall. Waiting was Twomley. Swims over the first defender. Fakes the flip pass. Takes a peek to the far side. There's Murray. Galloping in. He'll shoot off a stick. It took a deflection back across the body of Robotham. He had to be sharp there. A close call. Loose ball goes all the way down. Alcorn continues to dig for it. He has been one of the standouts for me for the Rapids. Going out the D gate. See ball, chase ball. Here's Lucas. Somehow with it, one hand on his stick, goes through a triple team. He's going to draw a penalty. Might draw an extra one as he took a couple of shots while he was down. What an effort that was, though. Lucas gets back to his feet. Usually a mainstay on this power play. We'll see if he's going to stay out or wants a breather. He's going to head off to the bench. Spark Psychology is proud to support the Founders Cup as part of their mission to foster mental health resilience and personal growth for young people. Shout out Spark. Coquitlam has scored quickly in their last 2 power plays. The last one took 46 seconds. The one before that took 14. Dane running point. Twomley ready to shoot. Put that off the right pad of Robotham. Reset for Coquitlam. Dane skips down low. Tan. Archbold back up to Dane. Fakes the shot. Sends a backhander. Looking down to Olsen, who wasn't ready for it. That one slips out of his stick. Murray, here's some footsteps. Still able to find possession. Back across. Tan couldn't find it on the one-timer. Murray gets back to his feet. Gets a slash off. Takes a shot back himself. And speaking of shots, Twomley on the run. That goes out of play. Fresh 30 for Coquitlam. Robotham makes another save from his backside. Power play will vacate. Now some penalty killing efforts on the offensive side of the ball for the Rapids. Carr has a goal in this game, one of their 3. Aldridge has the other 2. Carr from a sharp angle, threatening to shoot. Ben McElargy, the captain, doing a good job on him. It's the opposing 77 for the Adanacs. that keeps Aiden Carr at bay, unable to get anything towards the goal, and the Adanacs will go back to work on the power play. 30 seconds left in said power play. Murray is going to run point. Again, just trying to lull these defenders to sleep. Now Twomley, a bouncer, high off the glass, high into the air. Murray can't corral it. It bounces to the far side, and the Rapids want to go. And they will kill off the remainder of this penalty. Just 5 seconds left. So they'll go back to the offense. A little bit of animosity here as Murray and Carr exchange slashes in an otherwise, I would say, calm game by my standards. I'm sure the intensity will pick up as we progress through. They score! First goal for the Rapids scored by a righty. Drew Mason puts it off the post and in past Oliver Collette. Just recapping in my brain here what we've seen so far. That might actually be the first shot on goal that Collette has seen. There was that one earlier that went towards him, but was not actually a shot. So the Rapids make it 11-4, and Coquitlam will try to answer back again. Having a tough time, though, with the loose ball is Jack Hall. Kept after it. There's the goal announcement underway. Lucas shoots, denied by Robotham. Good rebound control, able to send it over to a defender who had no gold near him. An easy loose ball collected by guess who, Ben Alcorn. I'm telling you, if the loose ball is there, so is his stick. The Rapids will try to make it 2 straight for the first time. Tucking underneath and circling from the corner, Joe Webster. Shot, and that's kicked aside by Collette, so give him a save in this game, staring down Chase Aldridge, denying him of his hat trick goal. Now Aldridge going right at it with Miles Archibald, playing with a bit of an edge, twister, and a kick save by Collette. Loose ball is still up for grabs. And guess what? Aldridge finds it. He'll shoot right away. Another one on the run, kicked aside by Collette. All of a sudden, the Adanacs are under fire. Behind the goal, Rapids will start. Cross floor, Aldridge around a defender. That didn't miss by much. Ends up out of play. Some tired defenders out there for the Adanacs. On a feisty O-shift for the Rapids. Bend but don't break, as they say. Now Lincoln Twomley. Calmly here into the offensive zone. He'll shoot. Speaking of kick saves, Robotham, and a big rebound that falls over to Afonso. Tan. Good motion from the Adanacs. Off of the reset, back to Twomley. Skip feet across, almost a one-timer. Twomley gets the rebound off the end boards. Murray, shot didn't get through. Knocked out of the stick of the defender. A couple of Adanacs and Rapids stay behind the plate, discussing what just happened, but everybody goes their separate directions. 17 on the shot clock. Carr finds the trailer. Wearing number 4, it's Kenneth McIntyre. Drive through. Bissett doesn't like the lane, doesn't like the contact either. Now around the screen, but a stick save by Collette. He'll hang on. Bouncer finds Hall. Adanacs can really slow it down here if they want. They've been good on the offensive rebounds and have just, a little under 12 and a half remaining in the period. There's a nice pass towards Lucas, but he didn't have it in his stick when he tried to shoot. Now a crease violation, gives possession back to St. John, and Robotham makes a nice pass ahead. Carr stayed for the D shift. Delayed penalty coming up against Coquitlam. It's going to be a Rapids power play for the first time in a while. So Carr, who was looking towards the bench, is going to stay and play. Doesn't want to pass up an opportunity like this. 6-on-5. He's parked off ball near side. He gets the pass, a one-timer. Might have to tighten those shooters a little bit. That one goes off the corner boards. Tripping is going to be the call. Waiting to see who the culprit is going to be. And while we do, well, let's tell you about our friends at Calforex. Traveling, sending money overseas, Calforex has you covered with competitive exchange rates and fast, reliable service. Calforex helps make your money go further. Check them out online at calforex.com. So it's DeWitt watching on for 2 or less while the Rapids power play has made their way onto the floor. Bissett running shooter. Aldridge fakes the pass. He'll shoot right into the large A on the chest of Collette. And then his breakout pass fell out of his stick. Adanacs got to get this over center, and they got to do so quick. Long pass forward, a hope and a prayer towards Budnick, and it's picked off. Aldridge, room to fire. He will. There's a glove save by Collette. Righting his wrong from a moment ago, he'll decide to make the easy pass this time. And then a long one ahead for Murray to chase down. He does a good job at that, avoiding the crease. But he's behind enemy lines on his own. Coming in late, Twomley, one defender to beat. He does do so. Kick save, rebound, and look out here. Murray takes a cross-check and an extra one at that. There was one penalty being called towards St. John. Is there going to be another one? I wonder if they're going to give one to Murray here as he shot after the whistle technically, but it was all in one motion. No, he's going towards the Adanacs bench. Thought the officials might want to just try to keep control of this game, but instead they'll put us at 4-on-4 lacrosse. Saw some of this earlier and it created some exciting chances, mostly in favor of Coquitlam. Cross-checking to Johnston is the call as it gets announced over the PA speakers. Nice pass over to Olsen. Nice shot by Afonso, but again, could not beat Robotham. He's been good since coming into this game late in the second period. $15 on the shot clock. Here is Carr. He can really rip. Does he want to go towards the goal now? He'll drop to one hand, flip to Aldridge, and the shot didn't get through. Jack Hall gets in the lane, forces the Rapids to just dump it in as deep as they can. Unfortunately for them, the ball went higher than it did deep. Tan able to collect. There's just 10 seconds left until DeWitt can step back onto the turf, and it'll be a brief power play for Coquitlam. Olsen driving, shooting, and another save low by Robotham. Gets his stick on it. And then the right-handed goalie sends it ahead. DeWitt got wrapped up with the Rapids defender. Oh, got to be careful of that low cross-check. Chase Budnick. Official right there. Let's play go on as Bissett absorbs that well. Finds some space around the perimeter. Just 25 seconds left in the Rapids penalty for cross-checking as Bissett threw it towards Collette, who again looked like he was having a little bit of a tough time with his goaltender's stick, but Banks was right there at the crease for the easy option. 9 minutes left in this game. It's still 11-4 Coquitlam. Bit of a gap between goals now. And we're back to even strength. Twomley fake shot, pass down low. They look for one more over to Tan, but the pass didn't make its way towards him. Dane shoots late in the clock, didn't make its way on goal in time, and that'll give us a quick breather. Both goaltenders will get a water break. So thank you to our sponsors once again, Koba HVAC, Wolf Automotive, Northern Mat and Bridge, Freehold Royalties, Trican Spark, and Calforex, helping to bring these broadcasts here on BC Sports TV for free all week long in the 2025 Founders Cup. I hope you get used to hearing the voices of myself and Cody Jansen, currently to my right. At some point through this tournament, we're going to get some color commentary on board as well. Hey, there you go, Georgie. There's the BC fans in attendance. Do I see one of those floral Adanacs golf shirts? I believe I do. Good eye, Georgie. Got a chance to see all of these teams on the floor for the opening ceremonies before this game. Always an energy in the air for tournaments like these at the national level, especially on day number one. There's so much optimism in the arena for all of these teams. And not a bad start, specifically for the Adanacs in this case, who look pretty well poised to start off the 2025 Founders Cup with a 1-0 record. The Rapids are going to have some things to say about that, though, with 8 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. Apologies for the scoreboard on the screen right now. There is not 18 minutes. It is indeed 8. Get that fixed up here in just a moment. As the Rapids go back to work. Shot in the run. Aldridge denied his hat-trick goal by the iron. Inside post on Collette. Now pressure from distance thanks to the efforts of Hall. But McIntyre breaks free, now far side, room to shoot. They will, another one off the post. One glove side, one stick. And chalk it up as another reset for St. John. Aiden Carr tries a little shimmy shake. Hall not gonna bite on that. Aldridge, check that, it was Carr. McIntyre, he stumbles. Turf Monster claims its first victim as Aldridge goes airborne, scores! Drew a penalty that's gonna be waved off due to the goal, but Aldridge finally gets his third of the game, and that's a beauty. Just tucks underneath of Hall and Lalonde for that matter. Takeoff is good, says the referee. Yeah, reaches stick side past Oliver Collette. It is an 11-5 game here. Still lots of work for St. John. And speaking of, right on cue, the Adanacs answer back. Right off the face-off as well. Well, the mountain got a little bit steeper for St. John. How's that for a clean face-off win? And then right to the rack. And glove side goes Charlie Robinson. We need a response. I think I know who to call. Well, it was 11-5 a moment ago. Actually, check that. It was 11-4 a moment ago. Rapids score the third of the game from Chase Aldridge, and then in the blink of an eye to the goal goes Charlie Robinson. Now 12-5 with 7:20 to go. Rapids looking for another response here. They'll start off with the righties. Fake shot from distance. Robinson back on the floor in a defensive effort, and a good poke check at that. Ball goes down to the turf. Rapids collect. Shot wide. Good chance by Webster. Couldn't quite dial it in. And again, the Adanacs, not a ton of urgency in this case going over the center line. One of the benefits of the Lacrosse Canada rules, which they will look to take advantage of. Halfway through the shot clock here in the offensive zone. Fired wide by Afonso. High into the air. Off the glass, collected from the corner. Pass is bobbled. Olsen decides to send it below the goal line before heading off for a change. And the Rapids just give it away. All right. Well, it was going to be St. John possession. Adanacs look to take advantage of an unforced error. Dane back onto the floor, skipped across. Murray, shot. Did that catch a piece of the post as well? I think we've seen 4 split between these two teams in this period alone. Most of them coming at this end of the floor. One of those shooters right there. Aiden Carr finds Bissett. Skips through to the far side corner. Banks closing in on him. Return feed. Bissett loading, firing. Saved by Collette. Big rebound. Punched over to the far half wall. 2 Rapids against 1 Adanac. Banks ties up his man, but good job on that far side. I believe it's Drew Mason who scored a goal in this game. Across, looking to the top corner. Carr would be denied by the left shoulder. Forward feed on the money. Here's Chase Budnick. Shot clock winds down to 12. Pass behind. They want the dunk. Official waves that off right away. Pace in this one slowing it down quite a bit, and I'm just looking over at the offensive side of the bench for the Rapids. They look like they have some depleted numbers and some exhausted bodies on the bench right now at that. Turnover and a chance to go on a breakaway. Here's DeWitt. It's a 2-on-1. He's got Quinn with him. DeWitt shoots. Robotham makes the stop. A hard pass ahead. Ian Cassie did a good job to handle. It'll be a righty strong set, but Bissett will kick things off on the near side. One-timer! Scores! What a feed, what a finish. Rapids get another one back. They've found their scoring touch a little bit here in the third period. It'll be Mason. Look at the pass here from Bissett. Oh, Collette got across. But tie goes to the runner, and the runner in this case is Mason. Well, apologies on the behind the net cam. We'll look to get that fixed. But for now, 4:08 to go. And the Rapids have cut the lead in half here. Clock is certainly not their friend, and they, more or less need a miracle here. But credit where credit is due. This was a sizable lead at the end of virtually every period, or the conclusion of every period, I should say. And maybe with the Adanacs taking their foot off the gas a little bit, the Rapids take the chances when they are brought in front of them. Bissett feeds across. Mason sets the screen. He'll get the pass, loading, firing. Bouncer goes wide, and souvenir for a lucky fan up there near the beer gardens.
Balls can leave the playing surface. Be aware. Please return
3:15 to play. Olsen swings to Tan, return back to Olsen, and one more down low cross crease, and Dane stepped down in the crease, but fired it off the post. Another just unbelievable pass on a rope, cross floor. Dane scored a goal way back in the first period, unable to find the back of the net since, but has been all over this offense, as he will likely do so all tournament long. Young in his junior career. Get used to hearing that name. Bissett has a man open. It's deflected by the Adanacs captain. That was almost dangerous. Another good defensive stick. We've seen a few of those on both ends of the floor. Now Banks has a man ahead. It's Murray. Backhander denied by Robotham. Big rebound. Fortunately falls over the center line. Long one ahead from Carr. The defenders will facilitate the remainder of that change. Carr was waiting in the offensive zone and throws a late bouncer into the stick of Aldridge. He's got 3. Does he want 4? Does a lap behind the net. Forced onto his backhand the entire way. Bissett on a shovel feed. Nice move over top from distance. It's handled well by Collette. Now Lalonde got tripped up digging for the loose ball. He continues to battle, gets a punch off, and I believe that's going to be called. I saw the official's hand go up right away, and holding is going to be the call. Lalonde is heading towards the bench. Never mind. Makes the beeline over at the last second. Who, me? He's likely saying. Well, the Adanacs will either be shorthanded for the remainder of this game, or the Rapids will cut the lead down to 5. Time will tell. Cody, got any guesses? No dice. No dice from the voice of the Rush. Mason running that shooter spot far side. He and Aldridge will play some pass. Bissett sets the screen. Back up top, Mason fires off a stick. Well wide of the goal. Ben Mekalargi tried to bat it ahead. Now has to backtrack with the Rapids collecting. They have just 2 seconds to shoot. I don't think Bissett realized it. Last second, he will fire. Referee down low says the buzzer went before Collette made the save. Budnick. Double team closing in on him. Finds Dane right on the Roughnecks logo. He'll sidestep past the NLL's crest, and then Dane will dump and chase minus the chase into the final minute of day 1 at the Founders Cup. Remember, we're going to be parked right here in this booth all week long. Mason this time is going to run point. Aldridge and he switch spots. Across, Aldridge can't put it through Collette. Hall finds the loose ball. Good thing he looked up in time because there was a heavy collision heading towards him, but able to get the better of that, and I should say just avoid it, as Tanner Hayden heads over center for, probably the first time in this game, I would say, as the final 10-second count is on. Maybe the last shot of the game for Murray. It'll be stopped by Robotham, who came into this game late in the second period. Stood tall when he was needed to, but it will still be a 12-6 final in favor of the British Columbia representatives. What a show they put on, especially early, and they will look ahead to their next matchup, which will be our nightcap tomorrow on day 2 against the hosts, the Calgary Shamrocks. You'll hear me back on the call for our first game of the day tomorrow between the Privateers getting into their first matchup of the Founders Cup against the War Chiefs. Then I'll get a quick breather, and Cody will come back onto the microphone to call our middle game of the day between the Queen City Kings and the Rapids, who get back into the mix on day 2, and then, of course, the nightcap, which we already mentioned. What a day number 1 it has been, and what a start to the Founders Cup. Live here on BC Sports TV. That's going to do it, though. We'll take a breather again. Back at it tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. It's going to kick things off. It's the Privateers and the War Chiefs. We hope you'll join us for that one. We thank you for joining us for this one. For Cody Jansen, for cameraman extraordinaire George Parra, I've been Tino Farah. We've been BC Sports TV, and from day number 1 of the Founders Cup, we will see you next time.